Are you not afraid about being blackballed again? These are some power people.
What do you mean again? These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything.
Diddy would be throwing all his celebrity mates under the bus.
I mean, that could potentially be coming when it's time for court and when it's time for him to testify. But what we're seeing right now is how important public relations really are to Sean Combs. He's desperately trying to control the narrative behind bars, allowing his attorneys to do documentaries and TV hits.
The entertainment industry, with all its glitz and glamour, has long been a breeding ground for whispers, allegations, and jaw-dropping revelations. But even in the scandal-saturated world of Hollywood, few bombshells land quite as explosively as the one dropped recently by Katt Williams. Known for his razor-sharp wit and unfiltered tongue, the comedian has always been a wild card, a man unafraid to lift the veil on the darker corners of the business. But this time, Williams didn't just tug at the curtain. He ripped it clean off.
You know, there's a short life in
Why do you think that is, what the creative side is?
Well, because losing out money, you got to take drugs. You're going through so much to try and deal with life.
During a candid, no-holds-barred interview, Williams unleashed a claim so incendiary that it sent shockwaves through the entertainment world, according to the comedian Kevin Hart, the darling of mainstream comedy, the self-proclaimed hardest-working man in showbiz. And a man who has built an empire on clean, relatable humor had allegedly made career moves that were anything but wholesome. Williams didn't mince words. He claimed that Kevin Hart was sold to the industry, and suggested that his meteoric rise to fame came with a price tag that would make even the most hardened industry insiders wince. And at the center of it all, Sean Diddy Combs, the music mogul whose name has become synonymous with power, wealth, and increasingly controversy. For years, Diddy has been an enigmatic figure in Hollywood, a man whose influence spans music, fashion, and entertainment. But his name has also been attached to some of the murkiest rumors, ones that have only gained traction in recent months as he faces a litany of legal troubles. And now, Williams' claim that Hart was deeply entangled with Diddy during his ascent has thrown an entirely new spotlight on both men. The implication? That Hart's rise wasn't just about talent or hard work, but involved decisions and compromises that, if true, would shatter the carefully constructed image he's cultivated for over a decade.
I came here today just to tell the truth, so hopefully we can get down to the bottom of this. I'm 100%, the charges against me are 100% false, and hopefully due to time, we'll start to see that.
Kevin Hart's journey to the top has always been framed as a rags to riches tale. The comedian from Philadelphia who clawed his way out of obscurity, battled hecklers in dingy clubs, and eventually became a global superstar. He's the family man, the motivational speaker, the guy who turned his life into a brand. But as Katt Williams' allegations have taken root, that narrative has started to feel more like a Hollywood script than a reflection of reality. And the cracks in Hart's armor, they've been there for years, hiding in plain sight. It's no secret that Kevin Hart has weathered his share of controversies. From the resurfacing of offensive tweets to public admissions of infidelity, Hart has managed to maintain his Teflon reputation by leaning into the art of the apology. He's played the role of the repentant man brilliantly, each scandal seemingly rolling off his back as he continued to churn out movies, stand-up specials, and endorsement deals. But with Williams' explosive claims, the question isn't just about what Hart has done, but who he's been aligned with.
Look at Diddy, for instance. Let's take a look at him. Let's take a look at he has videos. He has videos of the parties. Now, what I've heard, which I don't know how much of it is in mainstream media, I don't really follow the story that much, but what I've heard from friends that are attorneys, friends of mine that have represented me before, agents and so on, is there's a bidding war going on right now.
And that's where Diddy comes in. The music mogul, who has been a towering figure in the industry for decades, has recently found himself at the epicenter of allegations that are as shocking as they are far-reaching. Stories of extravagant parties, whispers of questionable behavior, and accusations that go far beyond the typical tabloid fodder. Diddy's recent arrest has only added fuel to the fire, painting a picture of a man whose empire may have been built on more than just talent and business acumen. And now, the resurfacing of old videos and photos featuring Hart at Diddy's infamous gatherings has raised eyebrows, leading many to wonder just how deep the connection between the two men runs. One particularly damning clip that has been making the rounds on social media shows Diddy, Kevin Hart, and R&B icon Usher during what appears to be a casual hangout. But it's not the setting that has people talking, it's the tone. In the video, Diddy makes a comment that has been widely interpreted as homophobic before launching into a bizarre story about his early relationship with Usher. Hart, sitting nearby, laughs nervously, his body language suggesting discomfort. It's an awkward, unsettling moment, and in light of the recent allegations, it has taken on a whole new meaning.
That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like, check this out.
Another video, allegedly taken at one of Diddy's infamous parties, shows Hart laughing as a woman's hair catches fire in a hot tub surrounded by candles. The scene, which many initially dismissed as a harmless bit of chaotic fun, now feels much darker. What kind of environment was this? And more importantly, what else happened at these gatherings that didn't make it onto social media? As these clips circulate, the public's perception of Kevin Hart is beginning to shift. The man who once seemed untouchable, a beacon of hard work and perseverance, is now being scrutinized like never before. And while some fans have rushed to his defense, others are demanding answers. Why hasn't Hart addressed the allegations? Why is there such a glaring silence from a man who has always been quick to speak up when his image is on the line? Adding another layer to this already tangled web is Terrence Howard, the acclaimed actor who recently made headlines with his own shocking revelation. In a candid interview, Howard claimed that he too had been approached by Diddy with a proposition that he found deeply unsettling. According to Howard, the proposal was framed as an opportunity, but the subtext was clear. Saying yes would mean crossing a line that Howard wasn't willing to cross. His refusal, he said, came at a cost, but for Howard, the price of maintaining his integrity was worth it.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me.
Howard's account has only added fuel to the fire, casting a harsh light on the industry's darker underbelly. For every Kevin Hart who seemingly thrives, how many Terrence Howards are there? People who walk away from opportunities because they refuse to compromise their values? And what does it say about the industry that such choices even exist? As the scandal continues to unfold, the immediate fallout has been nothing short of seismic. Social media is ablaze with speculation, as fans and critics alike dissect every detail of Williams' claims and the resurfaced clips. Industry insiders are whispering behind closed doors, and the pressure on Kevin Hart to address the allegations is mounting. Yet, Hart remains silent, his social media accounts eerily void of any mention of the controversy. Meanwhile, Katt Williams is being hailed by many as a truth-teller, a man unafraid to speak out against the powerful forces that have long dominated the industry. But Williams' critics are quick to point out his history of feuds and the fact that he's no stranger to controversy himself. Is this just another stunt to grab headlines? Or is Williams exposing a truth that others are too afraid to confront? And then there's Diddy, whose legal troubles have only intensified in recent weeks. With each new allegation, the walls around him seem to be closing in. But the question remains, how much more is there to uncover? And if Kevin Hart's name is already being dragged into the mix, who else might be implicated as the story continues to unravel?
In her civil lawsuit, Cassie said that she was the victim of abuse, assault, and rape at the hands of Diddy.
And just like that, the once impenetrable fortress of Kevin Hart's public persona is beginning to crumble brick by brick. But the fallout from Katt Williams' accusations isn't just about one man's reputation. It's peeling back the layers of an entire industry, one that thrives on secrecy, power plays, and a shadowy network of gatekeepers who seemingly decide who gets to rise and who gets left in the dust. If Hart's alleged connections to Diddy have cast a long shadow over his career, then the whispers surrounding Diddy himself are starting to sound more like roars. With every new headline, every leaked detail, it becomes increasingly clear that this isn't just a scandal, it's a reckoning. But perhaps the most shocking of all the allegations in Diddy's recent lawsuits is the sheer brazenness of what's being described. In one case, filed in Florida, a man claimed that he was lured to a luxury mansion under false pretenses, only to wake up in a nightmare scenario where he was paraded around in humiliating attire while high-profile guests allegedly looked on. The names dropped in the legal documents are explosive, Hollywood royalty, music icons, and even prominent athletes. While Diddy's legal team has dismissed the claims as outlandish and opportunistic, the vivid details described in the filings have sparked a frenzy of speculation. If even a fraction of these allegations are true, it raises alarm questions about the complicity or willful ignorance of those in attendance. Adding to the firestorm, another lawsuit alleges that Diddy's infamous gatherings weren't just wild parties, but meticulously planned events designed to control and silence those involved. The accuser in this case, a woman who attended one of these gatherings in 2015, claims she was coerced into signing a non-disclosure agreement after being subjected to deeply demeaning treatment. The lawsuit paints a chilling picture of an environment where power dynamics were exploited to the fullest, with attendees allegedly pressured into compliance under the watchful eyes of Diddy's inner circle. The legal filings even detail the presence of handlers tasked with ensuring that no incriminating evidence ever left the premises, a claim that, if proven, could implicate far more than just Diddy himself.
People I don't think realized was he had cameras all over the place, unbeknownst to them. And now he has all that footage, supposedly. This is what I'm told. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens if, You're a huge iconic, TV star or movie star, and you're in some very, very...
Who's getting the money, though?
And then there's the bombshell accusation involving surveillance footage. According to one plaintiff, Diddy's team not only ensured the events were tightly controlled, but also filmed the proceedings in ways that could be used as leverage later. This is where things take a particularly sinister turn. The lawsuit alleges that attendees, many of them unaware they were being recorded, found themselves trapped in a web of blackmail and intimidation. If the footage exists, it could be a Pandora's box, not just for Diddy, but for everyone who was there. The potential fallout, devastating. High-profile careers could be derailed, lucrative partnerships could crumble, and the industry itself might struggle to recover from the revelations. Kevin Hart's perceived hypocrisy has become a lightning rod for criticism, and the public isn't holding back. For years, he sold the image of a man who keeps it real, a comedian who wears his flaws on his sleeve and uses them as punchlines. But how real is it, exactly, when the allegations suggest a career built on compromises that most people couldn't even imagine? Fans are calling him out, questioning not only his silence, but also the very foundation of his success. How can someone who preaches about hard work and integrity reconcile these allegations with the squeaky clean image he's worked so hard to cultivate? The answer so far has been deafening silence. And in Hollywood, silence speaks volumes. Meanwhile, Diddy's legal troubles are mounting at a pace that even the most seasoned crisis management teams would struggle to contain. The charges against him aren't just serious, they're career-ending, legacy-shattering, and deeply unsettling. The mogul who once seemed untouchable is now facing accusations that could drag his entire empire into the abyss. And yet, even as he sits in a Brooklyn detention center, awaiting what promises to be one of the most explosive trials in recent memory, the ripples of his alleged actions are spreading far and wide. Because if Diddy falls, he's not going down alone. The entertainment world is bracing itself for what insiders are calling a domino effect. Whispers of other high-profile names being implicated are growing louder, and the paranoia is palpable. Who else was there? Who looked the other way? Who participated? These are the questions swirling around Hollywood right now, and no one is immune from suspicion. For Kevin Hart, this means that every photo, every video, every casual interaction with Diddy is now being scrutinized under a microscope. What once seemed like harmless celebrity camaraderie now feels ominous, like puzzle pieces in a much darker picture.
All lies will be exposed, that's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
But let's talk about the man who lit the match, Katt Williams. He's not just a comedian throwing barbs for attention. He's positioning himself as a whistleblower, someone who refuses to let the industry's ugliest secrets stay buried. And the public, they're eating it up. Williams' reputation as an outsider, someone who's been blackballed and ridiculed for speaking truth to power, has made him a folk hero of sorts. His words carry weight because they come from someone who has nothing left to lose. And that makes him dangerous, not just to Kevin Hart, but to every powerful figure who's built their success on the backs of others. Of course, not everyone in Hollywood is cheering Williams on. There's a palpable tension as other celebrities grapple with how to respond. Do they stand by Kevin Hart, risking their own reputations in the process? Or do they distance themselves, tacitly acknowledging that where there's smoke, there might just be fire? So far, the reactions have been mixed. Some of Hart's closest allies have gone radio silent, while others have issued vague statements about reserving judgment until more facts come to light. But make no mistake, the industry is watching and the stakes couldn't be higher.
In 20 years, I never been on a commercial audition in my life. Like, I never let my tour get sponsored when I was broke or now,
And then there's the matter of Diddy's infamous gatherings, events that have become the stuff of Hollywood legend, and not in a good way. These aren't just parties. They're alleged to be highly orchestrated spectacles, complete with tight security, no phones allowed, policies, and an air of exclusivity that only adds to their mystique. For years, they were whispered about in hushed tones, the subject of rumors and speculation. But now, with Diddy facing serious charges and old footage surfacing, those whispers are turning into full-blown accusations. Kevin Hart's alleged presence at these gatherings has only added fuel to the fire, raising uncomfortable questions about what he knew, what he saw, and what role he might have played. And yet, despite the mounting evidence, despite the growing chorus of voices demanding accountability, Hart has remained conspicuously silent. It's a strategy that might have worked in a different era, but in today's world of social media and 24, silence is its own kind of admission. The longer he waits to address the allegations, the more the public's imagination runs wild. And in the absence of answers, speculation thrives.
I've lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that because the man card means everything.
Even more troubling are the recent revelations from industry veterans like Terrence Howard, who've come forward with their own stories of being approached with unsettling propositions. Howard's account of turning down a similar offer to the one Kevin Hart allegedly accepted only underscores the moral gray area that seems to permeate the upper echelons of Hollywood. It's a reminder that for every star who says yes, there are others who walk away, and that those choices come with consequences, both personal and professional. But what happens when the industry's dirty laundry is aired for all to see? For years, Hollywood has operated on a code of silence, a tacit understanding that what happens behind closed doors stays there. But that code is breaking down, and the fallout is proving to be seismic. If Kevin Hart and Diddy are just the tip of the iceberg, then what lies beneath the surface could shake the entertainment world to its core?
What was you thinking earlier this year when you got caught cheating in Vegas?
Hey, brother,
Mr.
listen.
Irresponsible.
It's beyond irresponsible.
The public is hungry for answers, and they're not willing to wait. Social media is ablaze with theories, accusations, and demands for accountability. Hashtags calling for justice are trending, and every new piece of information is dissected, analyzed, and debated in real time. And while Kevin Hart may be trying to weather the storm, it's clear that the tide is turning. The question isn't just whether he'll emerge unscathed, it's whether he'll emerge at all. So, here we are, standing on the precipice of what could be one of the biggest scandals in Hollywood history. The stakes are enormous, the players are powerful, and the truth is still out there, waiting to be uncovered. But one thing is clear, this story is far from over. As the allegations continue to pile up, as more names are dragged into the fray, and as the public's demand for answers grows louder, one can't help but wonder, how far does this rabbit hole go? Now, we want to hear from you. Do you think these allegations are just the tip of the iceberg? Or is this all smoke with no fire? Who do you believe? And where do you think this story is heading? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and trust us. You're going to want to stay tuned for what's coming next. Until then, we'll see you in the next one.